She Is Serious, a podcast where we showcase female athletes and their impact beyond the game. Each week, we will be bringing on influential women in the world of sports and showing why they are so much more than athletes. My name is Taylor Hall. I'm a health and fitness influencer and collegiate athlete at Biola University. And this is my sis, my co-host, Ashley White. What's up, girl?
Hey y'all, hey, my name is Ashley White, a former student athlete manager for UNCW's women's basketball, a blogger, writer for Beautiful Ballers, and an advocate for women in sports. Thank you for tuning in weekly to She Is Serious podcast. And this is why female athletes are now to be taken seriously.
Hey
sis, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of She Is Serious. Today we have Faith Knight in the house, a special guest today. What's up, Faith? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Blessed and highly favored. Hello.
Wow. Yeah, hello.
Hello, blessed and never stressed. No, we're super excited to hear your story and just to know a little bit more about you. We first got connected over Instagram and we don't really know each other, but socials is an amazing thing. So I'm super excited to have you share.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to see you guys and share.
Of course. Okay, so we usually ask our guests this first question. Just what's your sports story? Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your upbringing.
Okay, yeah. So my sports story kind of started early on. My parents put me in gymnastics when I was 2. And then from there, I started competing until I was about 8. And then I grew way too tall. So they offered to stunt my growth and cut my hair. And my mom, yes, they wanted to put me on hormone pills. So because I was really tall and I was getting pretty advanced. And so they wanted me to compete. So my mom pulled me out and said no, because she's like, why would I give her these pills and stop her from the height she's going to actually be? So
That's funny. I didn't know they did stuff like that.
Yes, that's, I'm not sure how other people's experiences are, but mine, that was definitely an offer. And then from there, I transferred over into Junior Olympic springboard diving. So I started diving because I was like, okay, I want to do something that's similar. And then I started and got pretty advanced. And then from there, started diving for UCLA's club team. And then was competing with them for a while, had a tailbone injury, and then decided I was going to try to play basketball because my mom played. And so she was like, why don't we try it? And at first I was not interested in playing basketball at all because I just wanted to swim and dive. And then after that, basketball was rough in the beginning. I'm not going to lie, my first game was not it. And then after that, it took off. So then I played EYBL, Adidas Uprising, and then I've been to about 5 high schools, transferring around, and then I tore my Achilles, my junior summer, which is the most important summer for travel ball. And yes, I tore it hooping, running games at 24 Hour Fitness I always did because I'm from Los Angeles. So we always used to go run at the 24, just normal, and just got pushed, landed wrong. Yep. So then I graduated out here in Texas and I decided that I was not going to go play college ball because I had modeling opportunities. So I basically turned it down. Yeah. It was a long way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Achilles. I've never talked to someone with an Achilles tear, but I know that is a super detrimental injury. How did you go through that mentally and physically?
Yeah, so mentally it kind of took me off my game of basketball because it was so hard to recover and to know that at any moment I could tear it again. So when I first tore it, I didn't believe that it was torn. I was basically pretty in denial. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to my physical therapist and he's going to look at it just a strain. And I went to him. He said it was a strain. I'd be out for 6 weeks. And then the swelling started really, really bad. So then he said, no, I think you should get an MRI. And then they were like, yes, it's torn. So you're going to be out for roughly about a year. So that hit me because I was on the path of college sports, of college basketball. And I was like, this is, what I'm going to do. I didn't see myself doing anything else. And then once they told me that, I'm like, this is the most important summer like kind of basketball right now, because I already have colleges looking at me, expecting me to play, and then now I have to sit. So that took a toll on me. It started to make me question like what I was gonna do if I didn't play the same, or if I came back and I couldn't really jump, or if the colleges didn't want me anymore. So that was like definitely a hard mental battle. And then I went through 2 casts and 2 boots. And then once I was done with that, then I was able to come back for junior year season, kind of in the middle-ish, and it just didn't feel the same. So I had to my game. I went from like never shooting threes and only like driving, attacking the basket, to now developing a 3-point shot so that I can avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it altered your game a ton. That's so scary. I had a couple injuries. I tore my ACL a couple times, and I know a lot of people come back from that, but Achilles is a whole different ballpark.
Yes, I know. It's different. The ACL is hard too, though. It really is. I mean, any injury is hard to come back from, I feel like.
No, any injury is hard, but how did you, like, you said you went from swimming and diving. When did you start playing basketball?
I was about to be 12, so like
Okay.
that was like the first time I actually picked up and started playing like park and rec, like learning how to shoot and stuff. Yeah.
And then you just completely forget about swim and dive and then just solely focus on basketball, or did you kind of do both?
No, I just basically left diving because I had to basically like pick, because it was in the same season. So
Okay.
are you going to dive or are you going to play basketball? And so with me already like kind of progressing and basketball being a little more lucrative at the time, I was like, well, why don't I just play basketball and just keep going with it? You know, I really fell in love with it as soon as I started. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I noticed you mentioned how you like kind of stopped playing basketball after high school, and that what resonate was you definitely took your health very serious at an early age, and decided to pursue modeling. What influenced you to start modeling after sports?
So modeling started as a child as well. I was homeschooled majority of my life. So I was homeschooled. I skipped the 2nd grade. So I went from 1st to 3rd. And then I was homeschooled from 3rd through 8th. So the entire time that I was diving, because I would have like 6-hour practices 6 days a week. And I was training already for the 2016 Olympics by the time I was like,
Wait,
nah.
what?
Yes. So I was homeschooled. And then in that time, I got recruited by an agent who tried to put me in commercials and modeling when I was about like 6. So that's where it started. And then with sports, since my school had picked up and I was interested in sports, I kind of cut modeling off and was like, no, I'm not interested in doing it. And then once I kind of realized in high school, like picture day and stuff, I was like, oh, I love this. Like I could do this all day long. And so that was like my first thing was like, oh, I'm going to try modeling again since I'm not playing.
So what would you say is the difference between regular modeling and like the UGC
Yes.
modeling?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the difference?
So as far as like modeling, you have an agency where you end up going to castings and you have to follow certain like size guides based on whatever board that you're on. So if you're a straight model, then you might be, whatever size that might be before, maybe 6 or 8. And then you have curve modeling, which is what I am. I'm a curve model. So you have size 6 and up. Different agencies have different requirements, but you basically are on location for the brand. So the brand might bring you to, let's say, Miami, and you're going to shoot swimwear. Versus UGC, they would send products to your house, or you would basically make it on your own time and then provide the client with video or whatever, footage that they want. So you're basically like in real time modeling with them on set versus social media. You have control to create whatever the brand wants. And it's a little bit different.
So what do you think has translated from your career in athletics to now being a model?
work ethic, I would definitely say. Being an athlete has made modeling so much easier because I'm
Mm.
used to long hours and strenuous activity versus where I would have practice for 4 hours and I'm sprinting up and down the court where I'm on set for 12 and I'm working through really fast changes, trying to get all of the e-commerce stuff done for the website. So that has been the the most, like, I think, important tip I would say from being an athlete.
That
Yeah.
sounds so fun though.
Man.
Like, look at you out here modeling. That sounds amazing. Like, what's a day to day look like for you?
Okay, day to day switches up a lot because in Dallas, I'm signed here in Dallas, I'm signed in Chicago and LA. So it changes by the day. I could get an email tonight that might say, hey, we need you in Las Vegas tomorrow to shoot for a hotel. Like, are you available? Okay, let's get a red eye, and let's send you out there.
Wow.
So it's pretty up in the air. When I'm in Dallas, I work pretty much every day. I have a really great agency. So I would say, like, today was an off day, but let's just say I might have a call time that's 8:30. That varies. And then I'm there on set until maybe 5, maybe longer, maybe shorter. And then I have to come home and basically edit for Ballers Lounge, which is my YouTube show. So the day to day kind of changes. But if I say I'm booked tomorrow in Miami, then I would come home, pack, and then get on the flight to go there, shoot there, and probably turn around the same night. So
What? That's crazy. But do you like it though? Life on the go?
I absolutely love it. I'm a person that needs like constant change and I always like to move and like work. So the fact that I get to like hop on the plane and travel and go to a new place and do something new every day is really fun for me.
Yeah,
How are
that
you
sounds so
used to
exciting.
how are you used to like the constant change? Because I know change is inevitable and it's hard for some people to adapt change. How are you able to adapt the changes?
Sometimes I feel like it's good, and when you get like stuck in one place, it becomes stagnant. So one door closes, another one opens. So when that door opens, you want to be ready and just basically like take that leap of faith to go, because you never know what can happen when you have that change. You just kind of got to like roll with the punches. It's just like sports, it's like one possession versus the next. Like you've got to be able to just keep going and just move through it. So for me, I embrace the change because I like to switch things up and then be able to have new blessings that open up after.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you, Faith. I feel like I always have to be on the go. I'm always have to be busy. This is my thing. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm always doing this. But I'm honestly like, it's fun. On rest days, I don't even know what to do with myself. I feel like so unproductive, But honestly, we need those rest days too. How have you been able to kind of balance your modeling career and flying from state to state, and then also just taking time for yourself and working on your personal things and your goals that you have?
Yeah, I would say part of that is my mom. My mom is like a huge person in my career. She's also my manager. So when
Oh,
things are like
perfect.
really, really high, she takes a lot of the load off for me and handles any of the like extra things that I don't worry about. So with that comes with scheduling calls or whatever, making sure I'm okay. She handles that. And then I take my balance by really working out. I kind of like plan everything. I'm a planner. So I keep a notebook or a schedule and I just like write every single thing down that I have to do down to like the minute, because I'm like, okay, I have 15 minutes to, so that I make sure that this gets done. This is a deadline. This is a shoot. And my calendar really works for me. So then I always make sure to budget time for whatever I need. That's like meditation, if that's just going shopping, like anything that I need for that day. I just kind of focus in on what that is and then write it down.
Okay, speak about that little time frame thing, because I found that's really helpful for me when I set a timer of I'm going to do stuff in 30-minute blocks. If I don't finish this task in 30 minutes, that stop, move on to the next thing, and then come back to it. That's really helpful for me because I feel like I'm more efficient. Can you kind of speak
Yeah.
about that?
Yes, yes. So I from the minute I kind of wake up, like I have my schedule lined out. So like usually if I'm gonna go to like hot yoga, I'm like, okay, that's gonna take me about an hour and 30 because I might hop in the shower after and then head to set. So then I'm like, and then I have a 5 hour or 6 hour time frame on set. I'll come home and I have an hour to pack and get everything together. And then I might have like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to eat and then go to sleep, get myself together. So I think that really just keeps you on top of everything that you have to do so that you don't miss anything and that you don't like waste time. Because when you're like always on the go and things are important, you got to make sure that you hit every deadline that you need to hit. So like, yeah, the time frame really works for me. That's how I keep it.
Yeah.
Posted.
Okay, one more question on this. I'm so sorry. I'm just so interested about like, because this is such a cool life, so fun, so exciting. But how do you also balance your social life too? Do you ever have time to just be like, hey, I want to hang out with friends? Or do you find yourself putting work as a priority over like friendships and family?
I would say a little bit of both, but I'm a huge like family and friend person. So I sometimes will sacrifice work that might not be as beneficial for me to make sure that I spend time with them. So like today is my off. I'm at home, I'm with my mom, and then like I'm going to go hoop with some friends later. Like I will make sure that I have like a day. If I know that that's a light day, I'll get my stuff done early and then go and spend time with my family and stuff. And I usually utilize the weekends if I'm in town as well to make sure that I see them. So if it's a big job, they understand because I have a great support system and they're like, okay, like go be here when you get back. But if not, then if I can like kind of move it around, then I'll do whatever.
I do have a question before I do have a question before it goes out the window, like out of my brain real quickly. So what is your favorite type of modeling? Like, and also if there was a brand or a magazine you would like model for, what would be the top 3 brands or magazine you would want to model for?
Ooh, okay. My favorite type of modeling is print modeling. So that's like all the marketing stuff for brands. That goes on billboards, it goes on commercials or whatever you need. I also like Runway, but I think print is definitely my favorite, or sports modeling. Sports modeling is such fun because you're really like working out. You're doing like your normal things as an athlete and you're just taking pictures basically in the moment. So it's really fun. And for magazine wise, definitely Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. Those are like,
yes,
I want to shoot for 100%. Those are like top. As far as brands, I have a lot. I kind of want to get into more high stuff. So looking for like Dior or streetwear, like Fear of God stuff, like, and then the beauty world as well, like Deep Beauty, Fenty Beauty, stuff like that.
Ooh, go ahead, girl. You got this. Just like,
Thank you.
if you can like envision it and see yourself doing it, just go for it because, you just have that standard. Like, you're like, that's what I want to do. Like, envision it and you see yourself doing it, go for it.
Yes, thank you. I will. Y'all too.
So what do you think makes you stand out from the rest of the models? Because I know that you're very special, very unique, especially just being a female athlete and then going into this industry. But what are some other things that make you stand out that will get these big brands wanting to work with Faith Knight?
No discredit to any of the other models. I mean, everybody's great and unique in their own way. I think being an athlete helps me stand out because a lot of models model the product or model for the brand but have never done it themselves. So that's been a struggle because a lot of times I have experience with things that I've honestly done and have a passion for that just relate really well over to the film or the picture. So I think that separates me, and I think passion, finding meaning behind the brand that I'm modeling for. I think that separates me because it's not just a brand to me. It's just not pictures. Like if I actually try to embody what I'm, modeling for the day. So if that's a hoodie, like I'm going to try to figure out what is so great about this hoodie that I love and then try to showcase that through my work. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, like, how does that work whenever you first started off modeling? I'm sure you were working with smaller magazines, smaller brands. And then how are you able to work your way up? Is it just a matter of your agency reaching out to these brands, or is it you and just showing your experience?
It's both. So when I first started, it was the year before COVID. So it was like 20, and it took a lot of hard work just to sign because I was getting from basketball shape where I was a lot bigger and more muscular, and that was not okay for the modeling industry that I wanted to go into. So I had
Okay.
to retrain my body to make sure that I looked a little bit more lean and basically how I wanted to look on camera as well, and how I wanted the clothes to lay. They do have requirements, but a lot of it is personal choice and how you want to train your body. And so starting out, I was given some good opportunities from my first agency, JCPenney. I had a couple JCPenney Sephora campaigns and stuff like that, where I kind of was thrown into it. But it really comes from studying the craft. I started doing test shoots to make sure that I was, posing differently and really becoming more open-minded for modeling and trying to I study it. So whether it's Pinterest, I study models all the time. I try to figure out how can I get my movements more fluid where it doesn't look so posy, it looks natural. So it really came from studying. And then from there, it was expressing to my agents what I really wanted out of my career and them trusting in me that I can build a relationship with the clients that I already have and see how that works and see if they maintain this relationship and then go from there where I can get a better book. And once you nail the first small ones and then you get those great pictures, use those to get to the big ones.
Okay, so you study film just like in basketball. I didn't know that.
Yes, I watch runway shows. I just even will watch like Bella Hadid videos on like how she's day in the life or whatever she has posted that day. If she shows like her on set, it's all about movements and fluidity. So if I'm going to learn from the best, then, I'm pretty sure my career will do better. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What advice would you give to those, like, especially the athletes that want to pursue in the modeling career like you?
I would tell them to go for it because don't let them tell you that because you're an athlete that you can't be a model. You can be whatever you want to be. And you're going to run into those people who are stuck in the fashion industry who still believe that fashion industry and modeling is one way. But that's not true because you never know what a client is looking for. So if you feel that you have what a client might want, or if this is something that you want to do, then go ahead and take the leap to do it. Just be open-minded from what's going to come with modeling. If they want you to wear a red hat and a gown, like they're going to put you in some things that you might not wear, but you just want to be really open-minded about what you're going to do and give the client what they booked you for. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So what do you think was the hardest thing for you transitioning from that athlete in that athlete's body to now having this different look? Like, was it your eating? Was it your working out or combination? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I think it was definitely eating. I'm already vegan, but it was
What?
Oh, yeah. It was letting go from the carbs and stuff to more vegetables. Because sometimes when you're vegan, you can become very carb heavy because if you're not eating like vegetables all the time, and like protein sources. So I think the difference was also different types of workouts because I was used to strength training for basketball. It was like, we're benching and doing a whole bunch of stuff like that. When I needed to do more elongating activities like Pilates, yoga, cycling, and put down really like my heavy weights. So that was the biggest shift change for me. Because at first I couldn't understand. I'm like, I want to look like the models that are there. Like I want to be elongated and I want the clothes to lay like this where my arm doesn't look buff when I'm trying to do this pose. And I couldn't understand that until I put myself in the shoes of what they were actually doing also.
Dang.
So did you make that decision yourself? Like you said, it's kind of your choice and then also the agency's choice. I mean, not the agency, but the client's choice. were you like, oh man, I look too buff, I don't want to look like this because no one else looks like this? Or is that also allowed? Like, can you be buff and then modeling for these certain brands?
You can be whatever you want, because you never know client is looking for what. So a client might say, I want somebody who's buff for this job, and that works perfectly, especially if you're doing like sports modeling. That is, you know, very important. But if you're modeling like wedding dresses and stuff, they want a more, I can't say sometimes like thinner, but sleek type of look for certain shots, because it's all
like
about
elegant.
Yes, they want just, and not to say being buff is not elegant. It's just they want that whatever they're trying to convey on that day, and they might want a specific body type that works for the dress that they're trying to display. So it's all about how you want to market your own career. So for me, I wanted to start getting into high fashion, and a lot of times high fashion still has standard sizing. So they're being way more open now where we have a lot of different sizes, but I wanted to make sure that I at least could get my foot in the door first before I start to, you know, develop it to the shape I might want in the future. But
yeah, how cool is that?
Modeling sounds fun. For some reason, sports modeling sounds fun.
It is so fun. I recently did a Nike campaign, and it was so much fun because it was the women's basketball campaign for Elena Delle Donne's shoe. And yes, and it was one of my favorite shoots I've ever done. We basically just got to play basketball and like scrimmage and pose, doing what we already do, because majority of the girls who already were on set had played either overseas, had played in college, played in high school, but it was a requirement that you had to know how to play basketball, and they wanted reels, they wanted to see you actually play and to see your skill level, because you had to be advanced. So it was really, really fun.
That's dope. I didn't know they do that stuff. Like, I didn't know that there's requirements where you actually had to play basketball for those things, because I just figured they picked up anybody that's in the modeling industry. But to actually have that background is super important, I'm sure.
Yes, that's when I made the point about like actually doing the sport, or actually doing what you're modeling is modeling it. A lot of brands are moving over to that. So if they're going to have a yoga brand, they want someone who actually knows yoga. They don't really want to sell someone just in the clothes. Like, they want a real yoga enthusiast to be there.
Dang, go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Ryan.
Slay on slay. Hey.
You're our first model, so this is so cool, so interesting, so many different things I didn't know. Like, first of all, I had no idea that you guys watched film. That's like so important to watch the film. And then also you get to, so also on your journey to having a different body type, was it tough mentally to kind of just be like, okay, I have to put this to the side, and trying these new workouts and stuff is going to be hard but rewarding in the end? And how long was that process? How long did it take you to kind of get to the body that you want to be at now?
Yes. So it was very mentally for me, because I'm used to being an athlete. So it kind of just came, my shape developed naturally into an athletic body type. So I held my own identity with sports and with that body type. So when I was letting that go, I felt like I was letting the real me kind of disappear, and I was letting my athletic self fade away that I did not want to. I feel like that was the form of like the athlete mentality. Like, if I don't play, who am I without basketball? And so that's how I felt even when I was losing weight, because I was like, geez, this is who I've been forever. And now I don't know what my life is going to be like when I look like this, or when I don't have as much muscle. How am I going to still like, you know, what I see? Am I still going to be able to hoop this? It was all of these thoughts that I was trying to process, because I'm like, I still want to play basketball. So like, I can't be super skinny, or like, I can't, you know, basically lose my athleticism and like my structure just to model. I have to kind of between. So I started that journey right after high school. In 2018, like, I graduated, and it was in June, and like the next week I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to go to college, and I'm going to start modeling. So I'm going to start training my body different. And then now I feel great. I feel like myself. I think I have a great balance of both sports and modeling and physique for both. So I think it's very versatile, and I'm happy.
That's cool.
Hey, go
Yeah,
ahead,
I feel like
girl.
it would. No, that's really cool because I feel like I'm kind of in that transitional phase. I just became a personal trainer, so I'm still like I still want to keep up my athletic physique, but now it's just putting on more size for me. So just
Yeah,
like yeah, more muscle tone, more size, and I guess keeping up an athletic body, but it's like it's also weird because I see my body changing since I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not doing basketball all the time. So my body is changing in different ways, which is really cool, but it's also kind of like, oh man, I feel like I'm losing a little bit of like quickness, a little bit of speed, you know, but also that part of my life is over. So I have to come to an acceptance and be like, hey, that was one period. Now I'm moving on to the next. But it's tough.
exactly. No, you hit it right on the money. Like that was the old me. Like this is the new me, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be as I mature. But yeah, you have to accept at some point. And then I also wanted to like basically represent the girls who are my size who live in the world. You know, I was really about that as well. So I didn't want to conform to anyone else's standard. I basically wanted the client and people to buy into what I wanted to look like, so that those girls can literally see me and say like, I can go do it too. Like it's changed. Like I can go be a model and I can wear that, or that looks good. I want to wear that too. So basically, yeah.
That's
So you
super
hit.
important. That's super important because when I look at models, that's how I base upon what I'm going to get, what I'm going to buy at the store. If I look at somebody that is super like a Victoria's Secrets model, right? I'm never going to look like her because my body is, first of all, it's just like square. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to be curvy, and I just know it's just not going to look like that. Or if there's curvy models like you, Faith, like stuff looks amazing on you, but I'm like, I don't know, it's just not going to look on me. But when there's just so many different kinds of models out there, and they each represent that body type, it really gives like us girls that aren't models an outlook where we're like, oh, we can do this, and we can wear this, and we're going to look good in the clothes that we wear, because that's the most important thing, is just being confident in our skin and confident in our bodies, especially as women. So I really like that you stand for that. It's important.
Yes, because there's literally nothing that anyone can tell you. If you want to wear that outfit that that model is wearing, then put it on. Like it's all about what you want. So to be able to showcase the different body types that are wearing it and they feel great in it is the same thing that we can show the population who you might want to buy it ads. So that is really important.
You know what
Yeah.
they say about outstanding? You got to stand out to be outstanding. So, yeah.
Okay, Ash. Okay, pull that out. I love it.
So, Miss Faith, what makes you more than an athlete and a model?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would say my heart, probably. I'm a very caring person. So I just love people. I love to help people in any way that I can. A lot of people will probably tell you like I'm always doing the most to try to help somebody, which can, you know, it can burn you or not, but I'm never usually worried about that. So I think me just being a person with a good heart separates me, because I'm going to have a good heart whether I'm working or not. And that's basically it.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
That's
girl.
awesome.
Yeah.
I can just tell you're a very genuine, and you're super purposeful with everything that you do through this phone call. Like it really, your light shines through. So it's really awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yours too. You guys are
Uh,
amazing. I really think
Yeah.
women's giving a voice. I love it here. It's great.
I love
Girl,
it
that's what
here.
we're
Yeah.
here for. Yes, that's what we're here for. Female empowerment. We're ruling the world, sister.
Yes.
Also, can you tell us a little bit more about your show, your YouTube show?
Yes. So Ballers Lounge started in 2020 during quarantine because I had some time on my hands and I had the opportunity to play basketball again. One of my old coaches called me and was asking if I wanted to play and potentially like go to a school or all of that stuff. And I was like, huh, I'm kind of modeling right now, but I still hoop every night. Like I'm still at the gym. And
Mm-hmm.
I was in time. So a lot of the gyms were closed for a period of time, but our outdoor courts were open, so I could go. But yes, so I was like, how can I do both? And then also include my passions into it. So I decided, I was like, I started brainstorming and I was like, Ballers Lounge. Oh my gosh, I can interview the people and get their stories out there. We can talk about them off the court or off the field or whatever they do and basically show who they are outside of that as a person. And then I can compete against them because it brings entertainment. It's fun. I get to try new sports. We get to show how amazing that they are. And like, there's a lot of people that have the misconception of like, oh, he's on the bench, like he's probably terrible. Like their bench player is amazing as well. So because
Yeah.
so it's like, why don't we just showcase the people's stories might not be heard and showcase their skill level? So yes, that's basically how it started. And now we're in season 1 still. We're getting ready to wrap. I have a few other episodes to post, and then we're headed into season 2, which opens all sports and women as well. So
hey, I love it here. I definitely need to check that out because I love.
Oh, we need to check that out for sure, Ash. That's sick. I love how you include the component where you guys are playing too. That's actually sick.
Yeah, I was like, why not? Like, let's play. Let's see how good that they are, not playing on the TV. A lot of people are watching people on the TV or, at college games and stuff. It's like, why don't you watch somebody who I'm not in the same like league as them. I'm not a professional. So like, let's put it to the, fun. Have some fun.
Yeah, they can hoop too. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it. And so now we've worked with a couple of great athletes for season 1. We have merchandise that's out now. We also have some collaborations with some players on hoodies and stuff. So we're growing slowly but surely. But it's a process and I'm just loving every part of it. My mom also runs a lot of that as well, as doing sports management and managing Ballers Lounge. So we have a good team.
Women are amazing. Look at your mom. She's doing it.
Yep.
Guys, go tap into Ballers Lounge. Go follow them. I'll put them in the comments below. Faith is running that thing. Super awesome community that you're creating over there in Ballers Lounge. So we love to see it. We love it. We love it there too.
Yes. Oh, you guys are the best.
And then we have one last question for you. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now with your modeling career and just in life in general?
Wow. That is a great question. I probably should look more into on like myself. I would say modeling. I hope I'm at the peak of my career. I'm on Vogue. I've walked in the greatest runways. I'm pretty sure. I hope that hit the best of the best in that career. I hope I mastered it at that point. For Ballers Lounge, I hope that it's the up and running show that also has the ability to help other hoopers and other athletes as well. So whatever that might be in the future, I just hope that it's all advanced and that basically helped my family and we're all happy and great. Yeah.
I know that's right. Yes. Let them know. Let them know what time it is.
Yep. You know it always.
Oh, Faith, well, it's been awesome to hear your story, to learn a little bit more about modeling, and to just see what you're doing. It's amazing. And you're being such a great influence and making a positive impact on so many other women and females who want to be athletes and want to be models. So thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. You guys are amazing.
Of course. Make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday at 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern time, and make sure you know why she is serious. This is why, baby. Faith, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.